Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Whatever This Is. My name is Christian, and as you can see, a little different setup, same apartment, just a little different angle. Usually I shoot over there-ish. Trying something else out. I forgot I had this wide of a lens. In today's episode, we are sort of going to be going back a few videos and talking about ChatGPT. Last week, I talked about Canva. 2 videos prior, I sort of gave you guys an introductory look on ChatGPT. In this video, however, we're just going to be taking a little bit deeper of a dive into it. I'm going to sort of explain to you a more advanced way of how it works. And now if you're hearing the word advanced and you're getting freaked out, don't. It's just learning how the program actually works and how you can use it as a real estate agent. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about, which I already sort of like dabbled with before I started shooting this because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about. The first thing that I'm going to recommend doing with ChatGPT is instead of asking it questions, because that's just probably sort of how our mind works, we think it's maybe a Google, when in all reality, it's technically a person, obviously not a person, but meaning you can have a conversation with it like a person. You don't just have to ask it questions. You can give it background details about you for it to help you out a little bit further. So what does that mean? Well, the whole tip number one, instead of asking it questions, like I just mentioned, give it a command instead. So instead of asking it, how do you follow up with a cold lead? Instead, give it a command that is something along the lines of, give me step-by-step instructions on how to follow up with a cold lead. Now, as you can see on the screen right now, I took the liberty, as I said earlier, of sort of going in ChatGPT and sort of tinkering around with a way that you can use ChatGPT. So the beginning of this chat, I said, I'm a real estate agent in Michigan and looking to generate more leads. Ask me questions to better understand how you can help me. So again, this is like having an actual conversation with somebody. Like ChatGPT will remember what you tell it. So in order for it to understand you, it needs to have information about you instead of just being like a bland real estate agent or saying, I'm a real estate agent, please help me. If you give it, the more specifics you give it about you, the better it is at going to be able to help you. So as you can see on the screen, the response to that is, sure, I'd be happy to help you, blah, blah, blah. And then it asks me 5 questions. Now, granted, I'm not a real estate agent, so as we go, I clearly did my best. I just sort of obviously made everything up, but you will have probably a different response. So it asks me 5 questions of like, what type of properties do you specialize in selling? Are they primarily residential or commercial? How do you currently generate leads for your real estate business? Do you have a website for your real estate business? Have you considered using any lead generation services or platforms? Are you actively networking with other professionals? Right? Very, I don't want to say basic questions, but questions that by you answering in as much detail as possible is going to give ChatGPT the best opportunity to help you when you ask it questions and prompts in the future. And as you can see, I did answer those to the best of my ability. Now, the one thing to note is like whenever you press enter or return or whatever your thing is, it's going to submit that prompt. So the way that I did it, because I didn't want to like make it look nice, but like 1 is on one line, 2 is on the second line, 3, I just said 1 dash, answered it, period, and then 2 dash, answer that question, and that seemed to work. Now, clearly, this is all made up with very little information. Again, the more information you give it, the better the following responses will be. So those are the answers that I gave it. And as you can see, this is how long the response was to that one. It talks about Facebook advertising. As you mentioned, you've been using Facebook to generate leads, blah, blah, blah. Content marketing, SEO optimization, real estate lead generation services. Okay, so yeah, sort of stuff that we already know, not groundbreaking stuff, totally fine. But when it gets a little bit better, so after that response that it gave me, then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to ask it a question. How should I go about targeting millennials on Facebook with ads? What are some content ideas for me to reach that audience? So what it says on here is for targeting millennials on Facebook, because that's just what I said. You can have it do whatever you want. You can have it target whoever you want. Oh, you also don't have to ask it this. This is just sort of the next question that I thought about asking because it's probably helpful to you. Um, it says create custom audiences. Facebook allows you to create a custom audience based on a variety of factors. Use lookalike audiences. Another way to target millennials is to use Facebook's lookalike audience feature. Use video ads, use Instagram, use social proof, and obviously it's going to give a description. I'm not here to read that. If you want to read it, pause the video and read. One thing to note, if you are like, hey, I don't know what a lookalike audience is, I run Facebook ads, I don't know, a ask it to elaborate on a lookalike audience and maybe how to use it. And if you don't get any clarity on that, because again, this is using information from like 2021 on the internet, just Google, just YouTube, type in how to use a lookalike audience on YouTube, and I guarantee you somebody gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do that. So those are the ways that ChatGPT thinks is the best way to target millennials, and I thought that we were done there. No, we're not done, because apparently I asked it creating content ideas. Here we go. 4 content ideas for millennials. Home buying tips. Many millennials are first-time home buyers and may be looking for guidance on the home buying process. Virtual tours. Millennials are comfortable with technology and may be more likely to use virtual tours. Sustainability, and then lifestyle content. As you can see, I didn't really do a ton. I didn't like rack my brain on all of this information. And this is like just the tip of the iceberg. When it comes to ChatGPT, when it comes to AI in particular, which I think that's where the majority of my videos are going to start going this year at least, is because AI is just taking over everything, my job included. And so if you don't want to work with AI, AI is going to take over you, much like shoot, what's his name? The Rise of the Machines. Arnold Schwarzenegger. What's that movie? What's The Terminator? Duh. Wow, that's embarrassing. Haven't seen that one in a minute. It's just like The Terminator. If you're not on board, that's a bit harsh, but you get what I'm saying. I'd probably rather work with AI than try and work against it. Next up for ChatGPT is using it to write listing descriptions that aren't boring by giving it information about the house. So as you can see right now, ChatGPT is finishing up its response to my prompt. Now let's scroll up and see what I said. I said, write a listing description for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Marda Loop, Calgary. Granted, this is a prompt that I took from a blog because I didn't, whatever. The house is on a quiet street and has a newly updated kitchen with granite countertops and a gas stove. The house is a remodeled bungalow with a double garage. Also, highlight the big backyard and that it's close to the shops and cafes. And then it gives you a pretty good amount, all riddled with keywords, all very nice. Now, obviously, not every response that ChatGPT is going to give you is going to be amazing. Please feel free to pause the video and read it, because that's a lot that just I'm not going to sit here and read to you. But you get the idea, and maybe you want to tweak a sentence or two. Maybe you can have it retweak it. Maybe if it talks about something for too much or not enough, you'd be like, hey, I didn't like that part, reword it, whatever. Again, tell it what to do instead of asking it questions. And that's going to be it for this video, but don't worry, there will be plenty more ChatGPT related, AI related videos to come. I don't want to give it all away in this video because there is so much. This video could be an hour long. So please stay tuned. Also, if you like the AI videos, if you like the ChatGPT videos, let me know by giving it a thumbs up or just letting me know in the comments, whatever. That helps me know that you like what I'm doing. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys next video.